The first warning came in silence. No explosion, no light, no sound. One moment, Earth's deep space station Helios 9 floated calmly on the edge of the solar system. The next moment, every sensor on the station shut down, as if something huge had passed by without leaving a trace. Commander Raiden Cole stood at the main window, trying to understand why the stars outside suddenly looked slightly distorted, like ripples on water. He felt something was there, something watching, but he could not see it. Raiden was a calm man, a man who never panicked, but even he felt fear crawling under his skin. The crew moved around him, confused, checking systems again and again. Nothing made sense. All channels were silent. Even Earth was not responding. The void outside the station looked too quiet, too empty, like it was waiting for something to begin. Then the darkness moved. A giant shadow glided across the stars, bending the light around it. No metal surface, no engines, no visible shape. It was like a living darkness. When the creature, or whatever it was, passed directly in front of the station, every alarm began to scream. The walls vibrated like they were being pulled by invisible claws. Raiden shouted for lockdown, but it was already too late. A single blast of strange blue light hit the station, and half of the crew fell to the floor instantly, their eyes open, their bodies frozen. It was not an attack meant to destroy. It was an attack meant to send a message. Raiden forced himself to stand. His legs were shaking, but he needed to act. He grabbed the emergency transmitter and activated the oldest system they had, a primitive radio burst that even ancient satellites could hear. His voice cracked as he spoke. "This is Helios 9, unknown hostile contact, advanced beyond anything seen, request immediate." The signal cut, as if someone sliced the transmission with a knife. What Raiden did not know was that Earth heard only one thing, the sound of his crew screaming before the signal died. On the other side of the solar system, in the Defense Command Hall, General Amina Darrow replayed the recording with a clenched jaw. The screams lasted only 2 seconds, but they were enough to tell her everything. She stood in the center of the room, eyes fixed on the hologram. "Whoever did this," she said softly, "wants us to fear them." The officers around her were shaking. Some whispered that the ancient rumors from deep space explorers were true, stories of a race that ruled half the galaxy with cold precision. The vast Dominion. A race that saw humans as nothing more than a young species that needed to stay silent. Until today. Amina stared at the dark shape captured in the last frame from the station. A shape like a void swallowing light. She felt a heat inside her chest, a burning anger she had not felt in years. The galaxy may have pushed humanity for decades, treating Earth like a weak newcomer. But now they crossed a line no one should cross. Raiden, unaware of Earth's reaction, watched the creature slowly turn back toward the stars. It did not attack again. It did not try to finish him. It simply drifted away, leaving behind the frozen bodies of his crew. Raiden felt something worse than fear. He felt insulted. The creature didn't see him as a threat. It didn't see humans as anything worth destroying. It treated them like insects. Raiden slammed his fist into the console. "You want a message," he whispered. "Earth will answer." Behind him, one of the monitors flickered. A faint signal was returning. Earth was trying to reach them. He rushed to stabilize the receiver. When the connection finally formed, he heard General Amina's voice. "Raiden, stay alive. A fleet is coming. And this time, we are not sitting quietly." Her tone was calm, but Raiden felt the fire behind it. He knew what that meant. Humanity had tried for years to avoid conflict with powerful alien races. Humans wanted peace. Humans wanted alliances. Humans wanted a place in the galaxy. But the galaxy kept pushing. Raiden looked at the bodies of his crew one last time. He felt something inside him shift. A wall broke. A line crossed. He was no longer afraid. He was angry. He stared at the dark space where the creature disappeared. A slow, cold determination settled in his eyes. If the galaxy wanted war, Earth would not hold back. Humans were done asking for permission to exist. Back on Earth, the Defense Command Hall lit up as every dormant program activated, one by one. Project Iron Dawn. Protocol Zero Mercy. Dark Fleet units that had never been used since their creation. Generals, admirals, scientists, all moved with the same deadly focus. Amina stood at the center, her voice echoing across the hall. The galaxy thinks humans are weak. They think they can terrorize us. No more. This time, we strike back with zero mercy. Every screen flashed red. War had been forced on humanity. And humanity was about to show the galaxy something it had never seen before. Something it should have feared from the beginning. Earth's rage. The dark shape that had haunted Helios 9 drifted silently through the void, unaware that the humans it had toyed with were already mobilizing. On Earth, cities remained calm, almost eerily normal. People walked, ate, and slept, completely unaware that a storm had been unleashed in the far reaches of space. But deep beneath the surface, in massive underground command centers, humanity was moving faster than it ever had before. General Amina Darrow stood in the center of the largest control room, eyes scanning dozens of holographic screens. Ships of all sizes, armed with weapons that could tear through planets, were activating, engines glowing with deadly blue light. Raiden's message from Helios 9 had ignited a fury that no diplomat or council could contain. Humanity had been patient for centuries, learning from the galaxy, avoiding wars, begging for recognition. Now, they were done waiting. The first orders went out to the deep fleet. Every unit, from stealth frigates to orbital bombardment cruisers, prepared for immediate deployment. Engineers worked in feverish rhythm, ensuring weapon systems were calibrated and ready. Human scientists, working on experimental tech that had once been considered too dangerous, activated it without hesitation. Energy cannons, plasma missiles, and dark matter torpedoes, things no alien had ever imagined Earth could wield, hummed in readiness. Raiden, aboard Helios 9, could feel the shift. The station was quiet now, but the stillness was tense. Every sensor tracked the faint ripple of movement from the creature that had passed. It had not returned, but humans would not wait. He and the surviving crew had begun repairing the station, scavenging what systems were left. Each repair brought them closer to turning the station into a weapon itself. Back on Earth, Amina's voice cut through the command center. Every strike team is to prepare for the first wave. We do not negotiate. We do not retreat. Humanity does not ask permission to survive. Her eyes burned with resolve. Officers who had spent their careers debating strategy, alliances, and treaties now moved with a terrifying clarity. Every human in the room understood what that statement meant. The war was no longer optional. It had already begun. On the distant edges of the solar system, alien scouts watched the sudden flurry of activity. They had underestimated Earth. They had assumed humans were cautious, weak, predictable. They were wrong. Ships rose from hidden stations, cloaked in shadows, engines glowing faintly as they aligned for the first strike. Alien commanders sent frantic messages to their High Council, but the humans' response was too fast, too overwhelming. Raiden looked at the stars through Helios 9's viewport. He knew the aliens' true power was still unknown, but that knowledge made him sharper, colder, more dangerous. He tapped into the station's experimental energy projectors, weapons designed for a battle Earth had predicted but hoped never to fight. Now they were ready. The humans would show that even a single station could inflict unimaginable damage if it had the courage, and the fury, to strike first. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, the general population remained unaware, living their lives under a thin veil of normality. But secret facilities, deep underground, were alive with activity. Every human engineer, scientist, and soldier worked together, synchronized in a rhythm of preparation. Humanity had learned from history. Fear was the first weapon, anger the second, and precision the final blow. As night fell over Earth's continents, massive beams of light rose into orbit, signaling the start of the deployment. Ships carried more than weapons. They carried human determination, a message to the galaxy that Earth would no longer kneel. Each fleet commander understood the cost, but they also understood the reward: survival, freedom, and recognition. In orbit above the planet, Raiden's comlink suddenly flickered. Earth's voice filled the station. "Raiden, this is Amina. The fleets are moving. We have targeted coordinates in the outer systems. The first strike will be surgical. You and Helios, 9 will serve as the spearhead. You will lead the opening salvo." Raiden's jaw tightened. "Understood. We'll make sure the galaxy remembers who humanity is." As he activated the station's energy systems, a low hum filled the corridors, vibrating through metal and bone. Every light flickered, casting shadows that seemed alive. The remaining crew worked without complaint, their fear replaced by the same burning rage that had awakened on Earth. Then, a blip appeared on the sensor. The dark shape. Closer than before, moving faster, almost curious. It had returned. The alien presence had noticed the humans mobilizing, and it was coming to test them. Raiden's hand hovered over the control panel. He did not hesitate. "Lock onto it. Fire when ready. Let's show them what humanity does when pushed too far." The first shot of war streaked through the void, silent and deadly, a beam of blue energy that cut through darkness. It was not a warning. It was a declaration. Somewhere deep in the galaxy, alien commanders felt the tremor. Earth had awakened. The war had begun. And humanity was ready to take no prisoners. The void of space seemed colder than ever as Helios, 9 drifted toward the coordinates given by Earth. Raiden Cole and his crew could feel it, a tension thicker than the vacuum outside. Every sensor on the station tracked the shadows moving in the distance. The alien presence had returned, stronger, faster, and more deliberate than before. It was as if the darkness itself had a mind, watching, learning, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Raiden's hands were steady on the controls, but his eyes were sharp, scanning every flicker, every shift in the void. "Lock all energy projectors. Prepare defensive shields." "This is it," he said. The crew nodded silently, a cold determination settling over them. Fear had been replaced by focus. They had seen what these creatures were capable of, but humans had something the galaxy often underestimated: courage, intelligence, and the willingness to fight back no matter the cost. The first alien scout appeared suddenly, a black shape twisting through the void like a living shadow. It moved too fast for human eyes to track easily. The station's automated systems tried to lock onto it, but the alien seemed to anticipate every move. Raiden realized something terrifying: they were being studied. Every action they took, every energy pulse, was recorded and analyzed by the alien presence. Then came the first strike. A sharp beam of dark energy shot toward Helios 9, slicing through the void with deadly precision. The station shook violently. Alarms screamed as energy shields flared to life. Sparks flew across consoles. Raiden gritted his teeth. "Return fire," he shouted. "Do not give them an inch." The human energy projectors hummed to life, releasing beams of bright blue light that cut through the darkness. The alien shapes twisted and moved, avoiding some beams and taking others, leaving glowing scars in space. It was not a battle. It was a deadly dance. Raiden watched as one of the alien scouts split into 3 smaller forms, each faster than the eye could follow. The crew panicked briefly, but Raiden's voice cut through. "Focus. Aim for the center. Predict their moves." The station fired again, and one of the smaller shadows was hit. It disintegrated into a cloud of shimmering particles, dissolving silently into the void. Raiden allowed himself a moment of grim satisfaction. They had won a single point, but the war was far from over. Back on Earth, General Amina Darrow monitored the battle through live feeds. Her eyes did not leave the holograms. "They are testing them," she said softly. "We need to push harder, faster. Humanity cannot hesitate now." Every fleet unit in the system adjusted coordinates, preparing to join the first clash. The humans were no longer just defending, they were hunting. Raiden saw another shape approaching, larger and more menacing than before. It moved with purpose, leaving a ripple of darkness that made the very fabric of space seem to bend. His heart raced, not with fear, but with adrenaline. "Brace for impact," he shouted. The shields flared as the alien collided with the station, a shockwave rippling through the hull. Consoles flickered. Crew members were thrown against walls. But humanity fought back. Energy beams lanced out, striking the alien in multiple directions. It howled, not with sound, but with a pressure that shook minds, a psychic scream that humans had never felt before. Raiden gritted his teeth and continued firing, ignoring the disorienting effect. One thing was clear: these creatures did not understand humans. They had never faced such defiance before. As the battle raged, Raiden spotted a weak point, a flicker in the alien's energy field. "Focus all power. Aim for the flicker." His crew responded instantly, channeling every available energy pulse into one concentrated strike. The beam hit the target precisely. The alien shuddered violently, glowing with an eerie light before splitting into countless smaller fragments that scattered across space. For a moment, silence returned. Helios 9 floated in the darkness, damaged but alive. Raiden exhaled slowly. They had won a victory, but at a cost. The station was battered, some crew members injured, and the alien presence was far from gone. This had been only the first wave. Then, another signal reached Helios 9. Earth's command. "Raiden, prepare for the main fleet deployment. The aliens will retaliate. This is only the beginning. Humanity does not run. Humanity strikes." Raiden's jaw tightened. "We're ready," he said. His eyes scanned the endless black outside. The shadows had been pushed back, but they were not gone. Somewhere, deep in the void, the alien forces were regrouping. They would return stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. But humans had something the galaxy often underestimated: resolve, courage, and a willingness to fight back no matter the odds. Raiden looked at his crew, their faces illuminated by the flickering lights of damaged consoles. "They came to test us," he said quietly. "Now, we will teach them why humanity should never be underestimated." And with that, Helios 9 surged forward, preparing to lead the first full assault against a force that had believed Earth was weak. Humanity had awakened. The war had begun in earnest. The galaxy would soon learn that pushing humans too far was a fatal mistake. The void trembled as Earth's fleet emerged from hidden jump points, thousands of ships moving with deadly precision. From stealth frigates to massive orbital carriers, every vessel carried weapons powerful enough to obliterate moons. General Amina Darrow watched the deployment from Earth's command center, her eyes cold but alive with fire. Every system online, every fleet commander in position, humanity was about to show the galaxy its true strength. Raiden Cole, aboard Helios 9, watched the distant blips appear on sensors. This was bigger than anything he had seen. The first alien scout had been only a test. This fleet, countless shadow shapes, twisting and shifting, was the real force. And yet, the humans were ready. Every beam, every torpedo, every pulse of energy was aimed to strike with precision. Humanity was not afraid anymore. The first clash erupted like a storm. Alien shapes darted in unpredictable patterns, moving faster than any human pilot could track. But the humans had learned. Coordinated strikes, automated targeting, predictive algorithms, all fired in harmony. The first wave of alien ships disintegrated under the concentrated assault of plasma cannons and dark matter torpedoes. The void burned with light as explosions lit the darkness. Raiden felt Helios 9 shake violently as a larger alien cruiser appeared, its shadow stretching across space. It seemed to anticipate their moves, twisting away from attacks, striking at weak points. Crew members worked furiously to keep shields operational, energy rerouted constantly to hold the station together. "Raiden, focus on that cruiser," shouted Lieutenant Mara, her voice steady despite the chaos. "If we take it down, the others will scatter." He nodded, adjusting Helios 9's trajectory. Every sensor, every projector, locked on the alien vessel. A chorus of energy beams fired simultaneously, striking with deadly accuracy. The cruiser shuddered, sparks flying from its hull. For the first time, the alien fleet hesitated, retreating slightly from the overwhelming human assault. Back on Earth, General Amina monitored the battle in real time. Excellent. Push the outer wings forward. Target their supply lines. Make them regret ever touching Helios 9, she ordered. Human fleets moved like a living organism, surrounding the alien forces, cutting off escape routes. Every movement was calculated, every attack coordinated. Humans fought with strategy, with intelligence, with something alien races rarely expected: unity. But the aliens were not finished. From the shadows, a massive shape appeared, larger than any ship humanity had ever encountered. Its hull seemed alive, shifting like liquid metal. Energy rippled along its surface. It was a flagship, a command vessel. The remaining alien scouts rallied around it, moving in perfect synchronization. Raiden's heart pounded. This is it. Brace for the flagship. All systems to maximum. Fire when ready. Helios 9's energy projectors glowed brighter than ever, firing a storm of concentrated plasma beams. The alien flagship twisted, dodging some blasts, taking others. Each hit left glowing scars across its surface, but it pressed forward, relentless. The humans responded with everything they had. Orbital carriers launched wave after wave of drones, missiles streaking through space like shooting stars. Every attack was met with a counter from the alien flagship, but humanity's coordination kept the pressure relentless. Each ship, each pilot, each weapon contributed to a symphony of destruction. Raiden watched as one of the smaller alien vessels collided with the flagship, an explosion rippling outward. Debris floated in the void, illuminating the battlefield. The humans had begun to turn the tide, but the flagship was adaptive, learning from every strike. It shifted tactics, separating its fleet into smaller, faster units, attempting to flank the human forces. "General, they're adapting," one officer shouted. Amina's eyes narrowed. "Good. Let them learn. Every moment they spend responding is a moment they are losing. Keep pushing. We fight until nothing remains in our way." Raiden felt the station shudder again as a direct strike from the flagship grazed Helios 9. Alarms screamed. Sparks flew. Crew members struggled to maintain systems, but Raiden's eyes were cold, focused. They had come too far to fail now. "Focus fire on the main hull," he ordered. "Concentrate everything. Humanity does not retreat." Energy beams collided with the alien flagship, light and darkness tearing across the void. The alien vessel shuddered violently, glowing brighter with every impact. Then, with a sudden lurch, it began to fracture. The smaller vessels around it scattered, confused. For the first time, humanity had forced a major retreat. A roar echoed through Helios 9, not of sound, but of triumph, of anger, of unyielding resolve. Raiden allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. They had won a significant victory, but the war was far from over. The galaxy had awakened humanity, and humanity was now awake in full fury. From Earth, Amina's voice cut through the comms. "Good work, all units. Regroup and prepare for the next wave. The galaxy has seen what Earth can do, and they will respond. Humanity does not ask for mercy. Humanity delivers it." Raiden watched the scattered alien fleet retreat into the darkness, their shapes vanishing into the void. The battlefield was littered with glowing wreckage, debris floating silently in the void. Humanity had survived. Humanity had struck back. But somewhere, deep in the alien empire, commanders were regrouping. They would return. They would learn. They would strike again. Raiden clenched his fists. He did not fear them. He never had. Humans had been pushed too far. And now, they would show the galaxy the full force of their wrath. The war was only beginning. Earth's fleets had regrouped. The glowing wreckage of the first clash floated silently in the void, a reminder of what humanity could achieve, and what it would not tolerate. General Amina Darrow watched the reports flood in. Alien forces had retreated, but their movements were predictable. They underestimated humans' ability to adapt, to strike back smarter and faster. That mistake would cost them. Raiden Cole's Helios 9 had been repaired overnight. The station's hull bore scars, but its systems hummed with lethal energy. Raiden had spent hours studying alien patterns from the first clash. Every movement, every strike, every adaptation the aliens had made was recorded and analyzed. The humans had learned. "This is no longer defense," Raiden said to his crew, eyes scanning the void. "We go on the offensive. We hit them before they strike again. We take the fight to them." The crew nodded. Fear had vanished. They were ready to fight, to hunt, to dominate the battlefield. The first target was a supply hub hidden near a dark asteroid cluster. Satellite scans had revealed alien energy signatures, their resources, weapons, and data centers concentrated in one location. Earth's command had given the order, destroy it before the alien forces could regroup. The approach was tense. Shadows moved among the asteroids, alien scouts probing, searching. Raiden's crew activated cloaking fields, weaving between the rocks like ghosts. One small mistake, one miscalculation, and they would be annihilated. Then, the first warning hit. Sensors picked up movement, and shadows twisted, faster and sharper than before. Alien drones darted from the cluster, attacking in swarms. Helios 9's automated systems fired, beams lancing through the void. Explosions tore through asteroid fields as humans and aliens collided in deadly ballet. Raiden coordinated every strike. Divide fire, concentrate on clusters. Watch for adaptive patterns. Don't let them flank us. Energy beams lanced from every weapon, tearing through alien drones, disintegrating them in clouds of shimmering particles. Behind him, Earth's fleet moved into position, unseen but deadly. Orbital carriers released waves of drones, plasma torpedoes streaked across space, hitting supply nodes with pinpoint accuracy. The aliens had never faced such coordinated tactics. Every human ship acted in unison, a single, living organism, striking faster than the enemy could adapt. One alien vessel, larger and more formidable than any before, moved to intercept. Its hull shimmered with adaptive energy, deflecting most of the human fire. Raiden's hand hovered over the control console. "We need to think differently. Use the environment." He guided Helios 9 close to a massive asteroid. The station released a controlled energy pulse, triggering a chain reaction. The asteroid exploded, sending shards hurtling toward the alien vessel. It twisted violently to avoid them, but Helios 9's precision fire struck at its weak points simultaneously. The vessel shuddered, glowing, then split into two smaller units, scattered and vulnerable. The humans pressed their advantage. Every alien drone destroyed, every vessel disabled, every supply node shattered. The asteroid cluster became a graveyard of alien technology. Raiden allowed himself a brief glance at the data streams showing total enemy losses. It was staggering. Humans had turned defense into ruthless offense. Back on Earth, Amina Darrow's eyes sparkled with satisfaction. This is just the beginning. The galaxy will learn that humanity does not wait for war. Humanity creates it when pushed. She turned to her officers. "Prepare for the next operation. We hit deeper. We strike harder. We show them that Earth does not forgive, and Earth does not forget." Raiden watched the remaining alien vessels retreat into the void, disorganized and damaged. They had learned something crucial today. Humans did not hesitate. Humans did not fear. Humans adapted faster than any alien technology could anticipate. He looked at his crew, faces lit by the glow of consoles. "We have struck the first blow," he said quietly. "But the real war is still out there. They will regroup. They will send more. We must be ready. And when they come, we will be waiting, stronger and smarter than before." As Helios 9 and the fleet began their return to regroup, a new transmission reached Earth's command. It was fragmented, corrupted, but unmistakable, A message from deep within the alien empire. It was a warning. They were angry. They were coming. Raiden's eyes narrowed. "Let them come," he whispered. "We've only just begun. And when they arrive, humanity will show them the price of pushing too far." For the first time, the humans felt a thrill unlike fear. This was not just survival. This was war on their terms. And in the dark reaches of space, the galaxy would soon remember one simple truth: Earth does not kneel. Earth does not yield. And Earth will never forgive when crossed. The battle lines were drawn. The war had escalated. And humanity was ready to push back harder than any force the galaxy had ever faced. The silence of space was broken by an approaching storm. Alien vessels, larger and faster than anything humanity had faced, poured from hidden jump points like a tidal wave. The darkness that had once tested Helios 9 now arrived as a full assault force. They had learned from the first encounters and were coming with vengeance. On Earth, General Amina Darrow monitored the readings. The fleet reports were staggering. Thousands of alien vessels moving in perfect formation, their energy pulses synchronized, their strategy precise. This was not a test anymore. This was a declaration: destroy or be destroyed. Raiden Cole stood on the bridge of Helios 9, watching the sensors fill with countless blips. His heart pounded, but his eyes were cold, calculating. "This is the retaliation we feared," he said. "Brace for impact. All stations, all weapons, maximum output. The galaxy thinks it can scare us. Let's show them it can't." The first wave hit like a hammer. Energy beams streaked across space, striking ships with deadly precision. Helios 9 shook violently, alarms screaming, metal groaning under the force of impact. Crew members were thrown against walls. Some were injured, others frozen with shock, but Raiden's voice cut through the chaos. "Focus fire. Do not retreat. Hold the line." The humans responded with everything they had. Orbital carriers launched wave after wave of drones, missiles streaking through the void, exploding against alien shields. Every human ship moved like a coordinated organism, dodging, firing, striking at weak points. The aliens were fast, adaptive, relentless, but humanity had something more: determination, cunning, and refusal to surrender. Still, the losses were heavy. Several human cruisers were disabled within minutes, consumed by concentrated alien fire. Debris floated in the void, glowing faintly, a silent testament to the stakes of this war. Raiden watched as one of his favorite pilots, Lieutenant Varen, was hit. His ship spiraled into the dark, a trail of fire marking his last flight. Raiden's chest tightened, but he could not allow grief to paralyze him. Humanity could not falter now. Amid the chaos, Raiden spotted an opening. The alien command cruiser, the same vessel that had coordinated attacks in the previous skirmishes, moved slightly ahead of its formation. It was exposed. He called out orders with razor-sharp focus. "Concentrate everything on the command cruiser. All firepower, all energy projectors, aim at the weak points. We hit hard, or this wave will overwhelm us." Helios 9 fired first, sending a storm of plasma and dark matter energy lancing through the void. Human drones followed, each striking with precise timing. The command cruiser shuddered, glowing as energy beams tore across its hull. Alien vessels swerved to protect it, but the humans anticipated the move, cutting off escape routes. Meanwhile, Earth's command pushed every experimental weapon into action. Energy fields, gravitational disruptors, and newly developed plasma torpedoes launched simultaneously. The aliens had never encountered such coordinated innovation. One by one, their outer vessels were disabled or destroyed. But the flagship resisted. It twisted and adapted, firing a massive wave of energy at Helios 9. The station shuddered violently, sparks flying, systems failing one by one. Raiden's hands moved with precision, rerouting power, raising shields, firing counterbeams. The crew worked in unison, their fear replaced by focus, their desperation transformed into raw determination. "Hold it together," Raiden shouted. If we break now, everything we've fought for ends. Humans do not break. The command cruiser finally exploded, a brilliant flare of energy that illuminated the battlefield. The alien formation faltered, and the human fleet pressed the advantage, striking decisively. The tide of the battle shifted, though at great cost. Dozens of ships were lost, and countless lives were gone, but humanity had proven something vital. They could survive, adapt, and strike back even when the odds seemed impossible. From Earth, General Amina Darrow watched the outcome with grim satisfaction. "They will think twice before testing us again," she said. Her voice carried the weight of authority and warning. "This battle is only one wave. We must continue to innovate, to strike, to survive. Humanity does not yield, and humanity does not forgive." Raiden stood on Helios 9's bridge, watching the shattered alien forces retreat into the void. He exhaled slowly, relief tempered by loss. The war had escalated beyond anything they had imagined, and the galaxy had seen that humanity would not bow. "Prepare for repairs and resupply," he ordered. "And prepare for the next wave. They will come back stronger. But so will we." The void returned to silence, broken only by the drifting debris of ships and the low hum of Helios 9's engines. Humanity had survived. Humanity had struck a decisive blow. But the war was far from over. Somewhere deep in the darkness, the alien empire was learning, adapting, and preparing for the next assault. Raiden's gaze hardened. "Let them come," he whispered. "We are ready. We have learned. And this time, the galaxy will pay for every step they pushed us too far." The war had entered a new phase. One of strategy, fury, and unyielding human resolve. And humanity was far from finished. The void was alive with light and fire. Alien forces had regrouped, larger than ever, but Earth's fleets were ready. Every ship, every crew member, every weapon was prepared for the decisive strike. General Amina Darrow stood in the command hall, her eyes fixed on the holographic map. "This is it," she said quietly. "The galaxy has pushed humanity too far. Today, we show them why Earth does not kneel." Raiden Cole's Helios 9 led the vanguard, its hull scarred but energy projectors humming with deadly power. He could feel the tension in the void, the anticipation of the coming battle. This was no ordinary engagement. This was humanity's message to the galaxy: cross us, and pay the cost. The alien flagship appeared first, massive and menacing, flanked by hundreds of smaller vessels. Its adaptive energy shimmered across the hull, reflecting light and dark in impossible patterns. The shadows twisted, preparing to strike. Raiden's hand hovered over the console. "All units, target the flagship first. Concentrate fire on its weak points. This ends today." The fleets moved in perfect synchronization. Orbital carriers unleashed swarms of drones. Plasma torpedoes streaked across space, colliding with alien shields in a violent burst of light. Energy beams lanced from every ship, hitting precise points on the flagship's hull. The alien vessels responded, firing volleys of dark energy. Helios 9 shuddered under the force, but Raiden's crew did not falter. The first blow struck. The flagship shuddered, a glowing scar tearing along its surface. Smaller vessels scrambled to protect it, but the humans anticipated every move, cutting them off with coordinated precision. One of the alien wings tried to flank Helios 9, but automated defense drones intercepted them, tearing them apart in a storm of plasma fire. Raiden's eyes narrowed. He spotted a vulnerability, a slight energy fluctuation in the flagship's core. "Focus everything on the core," he shouted. "This is the kill shot." Energy beams from Helios 9, reinforced by the entire fleet, converged on the weak point. The flagship screamed, not with sound, but with a pressure that shook the minds of all nearby. Its adaptive shields struggled, flickering and failing. With a final, massive impact, the core exploded, sending a wave of energy across the battlefield. Alien vessels were thrown into chaos, colliding with one another or retreating in disarray. From Earth, Amina Darrow allowed herself a small, grim smile. Humanity has struck first. Human ingenuity, courage, and resolve have won the day. Now, we finish this. She gave the order for full deployment, every fleet unit, every weapon, every resource, all focused on eliminating the remaining alien forces. The humans pressed forward, relentless. Helios 9 led the charge, weaving through debris, firing at every remaining alien vessel. Smaller ships flanked the remaining enemy, leaving no chance for retreat. The void became a storm of energy, explosions, and light. Humanity's fury was unstoppable. Raiden watched as the last alien cruiser faltered, its systems failing. It tried to escape, but human forces surrounded it, cutting off all exits. The humans were everywhere, coordinated, precise, unyielding. With a final strike from Helios 9, the cruiser exploded, and silence fell over the battlefield. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy saw Earth as it truly was: fierce, united, and unstoppable. Humanity had fought not just to survive, but to send a message. No longer would they be underestimated. No longer would they bow. Raiden exhaled, exhaustion and triumph mixing. His crew cheered quietly, battered but alive. They had survived, they had struck back, and they had won. But more than victory, they had shown the galaxy something it would never forget: humans did not yield. Humans did not fear. Humans did not forgive. On Earth, Amina Darrow's voice echoed across every fleet and command center. The galaxy has learned a lesson today. Humanity will protect its own. Humanity will fight with zero mercy when pushed. And humanity will always rise, stronger than ever. Today, we have proven that Earth is not to be crossed. Raiden looked out into the void, the stars peaceful once more, but his eyes held fire. The war had ended for now, but humanity had awakened. The galaxy had been reminded that Earth would fight back, that humans were not weak, and that pushing them too far was a fatal mistake. Somewhere, far beyond the systems humanity had defended, alien commanders would regroup. But now they knew the cost. Humanity was no longer a species to be toyed with. Humanity was a force, a storm, unrelenting, unstoppable, and filled with fury when crossed. Raiden whispered to himself, a grin spreading across his face. We've only just begun, and they will remember it for a long time. The void was quiet now, but the galaxy would never be the same. Earth had unleashed its fury, and humanity had proven, without question, that when pushed too far, it would fight with zero mercy. The war was over, for now. But humanity had won the ultimate victory: respect. And the legend of Earth's wrath had begun.